All right. So the rest of Genesis is the start of the 12 tribes of Israel, and it gets really interesting after this. And it's so hard to talk about all of it because God has so many layered of meanings in this, and it's so important that you just read it for yourself and try to compare it to your life and what's going on in society and how Jesus came of this. Okay. So the 12 tribes of Israel. I'm gonna tell you this has a direct relation to the 12 apostles. Okay. So what's the 12 tribes of Israel? So in Genesis, this is talking about how Jesus was came out of this, and how the 12 apostles came out of this, and how we today are supposed to come out of this. We are supposed to be like these 12 tribes, these people who are supposed to come out and tell people about Jesus. Okay, so these 12 tribes of Israel, so God came to Abraham. Okay, God came to Abraham because literally everybody else on earth was worshiping the pharaohs. They were literally worshiping demons. They really were. Okay, this is the time of the Egyptians. Okay, everybody was worshiping the devil and the demons, like now, everyone is now. Same thing. Or history just keeps repeating itself, right? Same demons too. It's the same ones. They're not even the new ones. They're just like the same ones over and over again, right? Okay. We just keep getting duped. Everyone just keeps doing it. And then so God came to Abraham. He's like, Abraham, follow me. I'm the real God. Like, I'm the good God. Stop. Like, please. Abraham's like, yes. Okay, I know you're like the only real God. The rest of them are just like crazy, evil, whatever. All right. So this is all foreshadowing to Jesus too. So Abraham is married to Sarah, right? And so they're old, and God's like, I'm gonna make you have a child, a miracle child, okay? Because they were old when Sarah had Isaac, okay? Okay, so this is all, and if you notice history, if you read it, you can see the a pattern, okay? So like Isaac and Rebecca, so Isaac met Rebecca, and Rebecca couldn't have children either, like Sarah, right? So they had a miracle birth named Jacob. This is foreshadowing to Jesus and the miracle birth of Mary, okay? Like literally, it's that they're talking about how Jesus, but these were real people too. The Bible is historical and it's poetic. It's the same. It's okay. It's both. Okay. So Jacob, Jacob and Rachel, like Rachel and Jacob, they had a hard time having kids too. And then they have Joseph and Benjamin. And these were like the descendants of like the real gifts of God, like Jesus. Okay. They were like the bloodline that was really blessed. Okay. And if you read it, like Jesus was the bloodline that was really blessed, okay? But I don't want you to get too caught up on bloodlines because obviously God is trying to paint a picture with this whole story, man. He doesn't care where you grew up. He doesn't care what your bloodline is. He wants you to follow Jesus no matter who you are, okay? He doesn't care. He knows that's hard if you're raised in a different country where you worship like a Hindu god or something. You already know who that is. And he wants you to follow Jesus. He doesn't care who you are. He doesn't care where you're from or what you grew up around and what you think. You guys have to follow Jesus no matter what. Okay, it doesn't matter where you were born. But people get lost in this bloodline. That's why the Muslims are still fighting each other. That's why they're still fighting over in Israel. Why they're still fighting over the Promised Land, because they take this way too literally and they're not taking it as what it is supposed to be now. Okay, they don't believe in Jesus, so they're still fighting over the land. It's like that matters. You can't get to heaven by fighting over land. You can't get to heaven by fighting over bloodlines, okay? It's so hard to like try to explain to people. Anyway, so these were like the people that were the only people that were following God. Everyone else is worshiping the devil, like now, right? But if you follow these bloodlines, also God is trying to paint a picture about how sin, when you because Abraham and Isaac and Jacob, they had babies with other women. Okay, not that God hated them, but God didn't like it. Okay, he didn't like it. He doesn't want you to have multiple wives. Okay, he doesn't want you sleeping around. He wants you to stick to your wife, the one you were supposed to be with. Is the point, because you don't realize, like, when you do stuff like that, it's genetic is the point. It's genetic. It goes to your blood. When you do something wrong, it keeps going. That's the point of this stuff, okay? And all the stuff does lead up to Jesus, okay? Like Jesus picked 12 apostles. Were they related or anything like that? No. No. The point is, these are the people who started spreading the word of God and spreading Jesus, okay? Spreading the teaching of Jesus, okay? And the miracle bursts are foreshadowing to Jesus and Mary, okay? That's what the 12 tribes of Israel is kind of about, okay? But there's so many like good stories when you read it, and it's just so layered and genius, okay? Okay. So, and you have to read it and really think and like, whoa, you'll realize stuff, okay? And this guy Joseph right here in the bottom left, right in the bottom right, Joseph was a major character. They have Joseph's rings. The archaeologists, these are real people, and it's poetic. It's both, you guys. The Bible's both. It's all God. God is. Remember, I said God's brain is like his brain and mind and heart is like a diamond. He's trying to explain, and you could see it in the Bible once you start reading it. Okay. So one of the stories in the Bible too is the Israelites come from this bloodline, okay? It comes from Jacob. He became Israel. God changed his name, okay? So the Israelites are people who come from God, okay? When you keep reading the Bible, okay? They're like God's people. They're people who believed in Jesus and God, okay? Obviously, Jesus wasn't born yet, but yes. Okay. Yet, but they're the people chosen by God. Like Christians are chosen by God because they followed Christ, okay? But if you read the stories, like it has so many good morals and what you should really be doing, okay? Like Jacob, he wasn't. I'm not saying all these guys weren't sinful. They were like, they believed in God and God forgave them, but they had sin too. Like Jacob, Jacob had a brother named Esau, right? This is a very good story and it has so much meaning in it. Jacob tricked his dad, okay? He tricked him by putting on a wool coat, okay? He put on a fake coat to pretend his brother's Esau, okay? And that's bad, right? You're not supposed to lie. You're not supposed to trick people, okay? So what happened? If you read the story, he got tricked by these garments too, okay? God's trying to paint a picture here, okay? Like Joseph got tricked. He got put in prison over a garment. He got tricked, okay? He got tricked by, he wanted to marry Rachel, but he was tricked into marrying Leah over a garment, okay? God's trying to paint a picture that when you do something bad, it stays in you. It stays in your bloodline. It stays, when you lie, it doesn't go away. It keeps going, okay? That's the kind of the picture, okay? There's so many like things you have to read for yourself because it gets really, it's just so many layered of meanings, okay? And all this is going to lead down to this tribe of Levi. Levi is the one you really have to pay attention to the rest of the Bible. And Joseph is next, but this Levi is like one of the main, it's going to keep talking about this Levi, okay? It's going to keep talking about Levi, okay? That's a main thing you have to pay attention to when you read the Bible. Levi, the tribe of Levi, they're the ones that are preaching. They're talking, they still stuck with Moses. They still stuck with the God. The rest of them fell away. They still stuck with the truth, okay? So when you read in the Bible and you're seeing the Levi, they're the group of people that still believed in God. They're still the people that believe in Jesus still, okay? It doesn't matter which bloodline you are. You can be someone who preaches Jesus, who talks about the Bible, okay? The point is that these people are blessed by God. He wants you to go tell people about Jesus. That's the point, okay? All right. Think about this stuff. Try to read the Bible. There's so many layered things in there. I'll probably talk about Joseph soon because he's awesome. Joseph was he was seeing visions from God, and there's just so many amazing stories. I wish I could explain it all. It's so hard. It's so complicated. There's so much. But think about this stuff. Try to read the Bible and try to connect it to Jesus and the apostles, and like, oh man, it gets really interesting. Okay, check it out.